Greetings comrades, my name is Gigantles, and in today's video I'll be covering a topic that has unfortunately been gaining a lot of traction lately due to the large number of YouTubers who are leaving the platform. What makes this significant is that, beyond myself, a lot of these YouTubers were from the classic and golden era of YouTube, when independent content creators used to really control the platform, and there was a lot of growth and massive surge in popularity in YouTube. Whereas over the past few years, there's been an increasing amount of commercialization and a large number of corporations who are taking over YouTube, as the algorithm now favors them as opposed to content creators. I think I covered this topic previously back during the first great subscriber war between PewDiePie and T-Series, and lately there's been a number of YouTubers that have left the platform. This includes, I think his name is Stampy Longnose, the Minecraft YouTuber who would dress as a cat, or at least as his Minecraft skin, Tom Scott, Meat Canyon, and a bit more significant for me because I followed him personally for a while, MatPat from Game Theory. I do understand the reasons why they have left. Oh yeah, and Captain Sparkles too, I just remembered. I do understand the reason why they have been leaving YouTube, such as needing to focus on their personal lives after spending up to a decade or more on YouTube and dedicating a huge amount of their life to producing content. I fully understand that, especially in the case of individuals like MatPat and Captain Sparkles, who I think Captain Sparkles as well. They both have families and they want to be there for their children as they grow up, and I fully respect that. I do. I think MatPat made the video. I think he mentioned it in his not retirement video, but in announcement of his retirement in a few weeks at the beginning of March, when he said that we've gotten to a point in YouTube where a lot of the original creators, a lot of the original big creators have been on YouTube so long that they've now been able to reach a point where they can retire or move into a new chapter of their lives. And it's not that the YouTube is secretly kicking them out or anything. There is a logical demographic reason why. And even if YouTubers aren't leaving the platform, I can see this happening elsewhere in other forms. For instance, with Markiplier. Markiplier has spent I think maybe almost a year now, he's been spending a lot of time working on his Iron Lung movie, which I am looking forward towards, and seeing how that goes, because the game Iron Lung was quite interesting. So on YouTube, we've gotten to that point where many of the original and large creators have decided to move on to new challenges in their lives, or to start new chapters entirely, whether it be changing the type of content that they upload and make, whether you go from gaming to producing movies now, or in the case of many of them, they've decided to focus on their families and personal lives. When MatPat was making his video, he said that there's only two ways a YouTube channel can end, and that's either one, the creator who runs it decides to stop uploading content on their terms, or two, the creator continues to upload content until the heat death of the universe. And MatPat specifically emphasized that he wanted to go out when his channel was in its prime, and I respect that, especially because he's done something that no other YouTuber has ever done, in which he doesn't just run game theory, but he also runs film theory, style theory, and food theory. And he has said that he's going to be handing the mantle of administering those channels to 4 trusted staff in his team, which he trusts personally to continue uploading and producing content for. It has led to some reflection on my part about what the eventual future of my channel will be. And I know I've done a lot of these reflection videos before, but that's because within the last 3 months I have firstly reached 600,000 views, secondly reached 1,000 subscribers, thirdly reached 8 years on YouTube, even though I've only produced content for 6 of those years technically. Fourthly, I've been on Facebook now for 2 years. And fifthly, I finished a major series on my channel, which was my Life at University series. which had been running for 4 years and made up a significant portion of the content on my channel. I don't have any intentions of retiring soon, and I still have plenty of ideas for content I want to make in the future. The only thing holding me back right now is technical issues due to me needing more advanced equipment, such as a faster computer, a better microphone, and soundproofing in my room so you can hear me without needing me to shout in my microphone and then later turn it down so you can't hear the ambience in the background. And also the fact that it takes so long to make this content. There's a reason why I went from gaming, I was uploading 3 videos a week, or thinking of 4 videos, and now I'm producing 1 video a week. It takes a lot of time to make these videos because it's just me doing this, and maybe in future I'll have a team helping me support this. But otherwise, I have a huge amount of ideas that I want to make for my channel, and retirement is very far off for me. Even if, MatPat said he'd been on YouTube for 13 years with Game Theory, and I'm still 5 years away from that, but I've still got plenty of life left in me. So yeah, I'm going to keep going I'm going to keep going for the foreseeable future because I have no intention of stopping, nor is there anything stopping me from continuing to make content. But I fully respect MatPat's decision to step back from his duties on YouTube and pass the mantle of his 4 channels onto other 4 channels, or onto 4 of his staff members who will continue his legacy on YouTube. MatPat has a son and he is married, so he wants to spend time with his family and make sure he's there for his son. From all the retiring YouTubers, I find MatPat's retirement specifically relevant for me because of 2 reasons. Firstly, when I wanted to move from creating gaming content to educational content, even before I started producing religious stuff, I was inspired by MatPat to do that. And if you go into my oldest educational content, please ignore my lectures about global warming. Those are all outdated. But 2 of my earliest educational videos were from my Gigantles theory videos, and that was inspired by MatPat's FNAF videos, or Five Nights at Freddy's theory videos. It started out with me having an idea for the character Jeremy, or the characters Jeremy, and what their roles in the FNAF universe were meant to be. And I made a comment about it on one of his videos, but because of the sheer number of commenters on his videos, my comment was drowned out. And so I decided to make a video called Who is Jeremy, I think. Whatever I called the video, I decided to make a video explaining what I thought Jeremy was meant to symbolize, and the collective role of all the different Jeremy characters throughout the FNAF universe. And that got a lot of views, surprisingly, on my channel. It got over 10,000 views. But I think the first video I technically made was about it was based on MatPat's film theory, in which MatPat was talking about how when Scott Lang in the first Ant-Man, yes, that's how old this stuff is. When Scott Lang shrank down in the first Ant-Man, when he became subatomic, he was meant to have reached a certain density in which he would have formed a black hole. But in my video, I pointed out that in the second Ant-Man, when Scott Lang takes off his Ant-Man helmet and he's short, if he did that, he would suffocate or asphyxiate, because his blood wouldn't be able to bind to the oxygen, wouldn't be able to bind to the now very large hemoglobin molecules in his blood. If you watch that video, I do urge some caution, because I didn't get the audio settings on that right, and after I introduce the video, the really cringy intro for that video plays, and it's a bit loud, so be careful. But I produced I produced that content, and I think a few other Gigantles theory videos on my channel, specifically because I was inspired by MatPat. But maybe out of respect for MatPat and his influence on me, I may produce non-religious content explaining my takes on certain movies or games and certain theories I have about characters, and just put that up as a continuation of my Gigantles theory video. Hit my microphone. As a continuation of my Gigantles theory videos. The second reason why MatPat leaving is significant for me is because of his indirect role in helping lead me back towards the faith. I mentioned in my journey through the faith video that one of the important actions or events in my life that helped lead me back to the faith was me developing my own version of the Kalam cosmological argument. That was actually inspired by a video uploaded to Game Theory. The video in question was made by a guy called Austin, who his style of videos is that it's like he's writing a letter to the creator of the game and then explaining everything apparently wrong with it or whatever and signing it off. But the video that MatPat allowed on his channel, Game Theory, to be uploaded by Austin was the science of portals. And the game Portals is a game where you have a portal gun. I'm holding an imaginary portal gun, and you fire portals with it, and you use this to overcome obstacles. So if you see a platform up there, you fire with your portal gun at the roof just above the platform, and then you fire down at the ground, and then you walk into the portal in the ground, and then you land on that portal from the roof. I think there's been an update to the Portal franchise where you can now open up a portal through time, but this video was meant to be explaining how the portal gun worked and the fuel behind it. And he said that to keep a portal open, you would need something known as negative matter. Negative matter isn't antimatter. Antimatter is matter that's negatively charged. So so you have electrons, and then you have positrons. So electrons negatively charged, positrons positively charged. Negative matter is best described as the absence of matter. So if matter was described as a ball, yeah, you can see my hand. If matter was described as a ball, negative matter would be seen as a. How do I represent this? Negative matter would be seen as a hole that the ball goes into. And I need to make a proper video about this, explaining the physics behind it all. But this video, with its negative matter and matter, antimatter, everything, it was all very important in helping me develop my Kalam cosmological argument. So I owe MatPat and Austin that debt about their role in leading me back towards the faith, even if that wasn't their intention at all. I still owe them that debt, and I may just continue my Gigantal Theory videos, no matter how sparsely uploaded they are, out of respect for their role in that. I do find it sad that a lot of these, aside from just MatPat, I do find it sad that a lot of these. I'm an idiot. Of course, I forgot. Another YouTuber that technically retired, but did this a bit ago, was PewDiePie. Just like many of the other YouTubers retiring, PewDiePie does have a family, and he has a son. I think his son is called Bjorn, but he's retired from YouTube mostly, and he's uploading every now and then, but he's mostly focusing on his family, especially after their move to Japan. And it's sad to see the once king of YouTube, just slowly fade a bit from relevance as he focuses on his personal life, but I fully respect him for that and putting family first. He's already done a lot for YouTube and helping develop YouTube culture, especially through the Great Subscriber War against T-Series. Even if he technically lost, he still had a lasting legacy on many channels out there, and it's a bit sad to see all these YouTubers from the golden age of YouTube just slowly retire and move on to the next chapter in their lives. But in this vacuum that they leave behind, I'm sure that many other channels will come forward. Like MatPat says, he started out on Game Theory as just any other theory channel, but now he's the prominent voice, the prominent theorist on the platform with all of his different channels, and he hopes that there will be others who will come in to help fill the void when he's gone. In addition to everyone else who now runs his channels, who will run his channels, he's glad that he's encouraged a culture and legacy of theorists out there who can come together and talk about different games and movies and food and styles and stuff, and just create that sort of community on YouTube. There's a lot of sense of community when it comes to many of these very successful channels. This is a bit of a last minute addition, but Speaking of the first great subscriber war, many of you may not realize it. Many of you may not realize this, but we are actually moving towards the second great subscriber war. The second great subscriber war will be between Mr. Beast and T-Series. I know there have been some attempts to claim that the second great subscriber war was between Cocomelon and PewDiePie, but the real war, the real second great subscriber war, will be between Mr. Beast and T-Series. As a veteran of the first great subscriber war, in which I saw just a huge number of YouTubers and channels and all sorts of people, even off YouTube, all coming together to ask people to subscribe to PewDiePie so that he could reach 100 million subscribers first before T-Series, the Indian media company corporation, did. That was an incredible moment, even if it did end tragically, thanks to due to the actions of people who are abusing the name of PewDiePie. It was still an incredible feat just to watch all of YouTube come together to rally around not just the most popular YouTuber at that point in time, but also someone that they saw as representative of individual creators. It was between August in 2018 and I think it was maybe between August 2018 and August 2019 when this whole first great subscriber war happened. But it was quite something to watch all of these different creators come together, and they didn't just say subscribe to PewDiePie. No, they made proper videos, explaining why you should subscribe. Elon Musk went on for a meme review with PewDiePie. Mr. Beast was single-handedly bringing tens of millions of people to PewDiePie with his videos and showing billboards. I bought every billboard or something to say subscribe to PewDiePie. I wore subscribe to PewDiePie t-shirt to the Super Bowl or whatever. It was an incredible thing to watch everyone come together like that. Even if PewDiePie, in order to preserve the legacy of this movement and to stop people further desecrating it, did put an end to it and say, you know what, no, let's just go out on a high note and not let stuff like what happened in Christchurch ruin it for everyone. And it seems somewhat appropriate that in August of last year, Mr. Beast publicly challenged T-Series to a subscriber count-off. I think that's how he worded it. At the time of, I can't remember how many subscribers T-Series has right now, but I think it's approaching 250 million, and Mr. Beast has 237 million. So Mr. Beast went from being like a general of the army for the first great subscriber war to now being a contender for the king of YouTube. And I'm glad that even if I don't agree with Mr. Beast on everything, or he isn't the perfect embodiment of what I would want as a king of YouTube to be, when it comes to the increasing commercialization and corporate presence on YouTube, as well as all of these YouTubers retiring, having Mr. Beast, an independent creator, now challenge T-Series for being the largest channel on YouTube, it's sort of like a ray of hope for all creators out there, that it is possible to still succeed as a creator on this platform after everything seems to have been getting increasingly darker and more complicated and harder for creators to achieve. Here comes Mr. Beast, single-handedly proving that you don't need to produce tons of content every day like T-Series does to be able to have a large reach. You just need to have good content. And I say this despite knowing that my content is not going to reach 99% of the people on the planet. I mean, probably not even 0.5%. But the people that it does reach, and the impact it has on them, is really what I'm focusing on. But I'm sure this video is getting a bit long now, so just to summarize, a lot of people have been leaving YouTube lately, a lot of the classic and great YouTubers from the golden era of YouTube. I wish them all the best in their retirement, whether they move on to new chapters of their lives or they go on new adventures. And for those that are just moving into new projects and content on YouTube, like Markiplier with his Iron Lung movie, which I'm really excited to see. I really want to see that movie. I wish all of those YouTubers the best as they explore and take risks in producing new content. I have no intention of retiring myself, even though I do feel quite old on this channel by this point. I have plenty more in store for the next few years, and I'm going to miss okay, I need to really word my scripts better. I'm going to miss MatPat and his presence on YouTube, and I owe him a debt for his role in helping me return back to the faith. So I'll maybe produce some Giganto's Theory videos every now and then, out of respect for him. And I look forward to, I'm not sure when it is, but I look forward to the crown of the largest channel on YouTube returning back to the creators from a corporation. Otherwise, have a good week all of you. God bless you all. See you in the next video, comrades. Until then.